Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Port Nettles, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Golden Life Podcast.
What's going on? I forgot to switch the screens over.
Yeah. That wasn't shoddy at all.
Welcome to the Towing Life Podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not.
I am your host, Towman G, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. PlainGuy, who has some very strong opinions. And we're also joined by our wonderful producer, Sarah, who's been, still slaving away behind the scenes. She's finally making a return appearance for the 100th episode.
Absolutely, Sarah. We are so happy to have you back for this. I think I speak for everyone, including our listeners and our viewers tonight, for our 100th episode live stream 2.0. We've done it before in the past. We wanted to do it again today. Sarah, welcome back. How has motherhood been?
It's really good. I like to say that I have my dream job. Next to, of course, being a tow truck journalist, which was, the highlight of my career. But no, I love it. To all you guys and ladies, I suppose, out there who are on the fence on whether to do the whole kid thing, it's awesome. I love it.
I feel G and I think can argue with you on that as people who don't have kids, that is a trap that people with kids say so that we can be more like you. I enjoy my freedom. Obviously, my wife and I want to eventually have a family. G, I think you guys are in the same boat. I think you got to grow your cult numbers, as we've talked about somehow. Reproduction might be the easiest way. Yeah. But I still feel like that is a trap that parents tell others to make them more, confident in their decision to do it. Am I wrong in this?
Well, I mean, I'm 36 and I just had my first kid. So I was totally in that boat for a long time. I'm like, don't grow up, it's a trap. Don't have kids, it's a trap. And I waited a long, long time to do this. And so now that I'm doing it, it's pretty great. Because you also get the other side of it. And people are like, you never sleep, you never have free time, you never have a life anymore. And I'm actually finding that my husband and I are really good partners. So it helps that we kind of balance it out. But we make it work. We still have lives. We're still people. I'm here, aren't I?
I like that. It almost sounds as if you never sleep, you don't have lives. And what was the other thing?
Free time.
Yeah, that sounds like the towing industry.
Yeah.
There you go. It's about the same.
It's about the same. So for anyone that can find a way to balance both, I congratulate you. I know we do already see Robert coming in saying 7 boys, and I wouldn't give it up. 7 boys.
You're one off getting a show on TLC, my friend.
Do you want to join Towman G's convent? Because you guys could stock that farm all by yourselves.
Yeah. I could just go out and buy some implements that can be run by hand at that rate.
Yeah.
No need for a tractor.
So, no, we want to thank you guys all for joining us for our live episode. Like I said, our 100th episode. It is crazy how far we have come, right? G, we've talked about this in episodes leading up to the 100th. Mm-hmm. We just started this, 2 years ago, almost now, as a fun something to do. Yeah. Right. I still remember those days when I came to you and they said, hey, do you want to do a podcast? I'm pretty sure you asked me what a podcast was because I don't think you listened to them back then.
No, I never did.
No.
And before we started doing this, I didn't even own a computer. It was, you bought a computer and then I bought a computer because you bought a computer and you kind of suckered me into it. And it was 3 weeks after both of us owning PCs, we started this show.
Yeah. The moral of the story is I've peer pressured Towman G into many bad decisions.
Many.
But yeah, to be sitting here 2 years later, doing a 100th episode, with the following that we've started to get. I mean, the numbers on YouTube, on Spotify, on all the audio sources have continued to go up over and over again. It's truly humbling. And then to meet people like producer Sarah and say, hey, I still remember reaching out to you going, hey, we could really use somebody like you on the show. And you're like, well, I don't have any experience with podcasts. I don't have, I'm a writer. And here you are, you came on board, I peer pressured you, I think too. And
Yeah.
here you are, and what a nice touch you have been to the show. Adding that outside perspective and that everything else. Like you have really, I found, been that last little piece the show was missing. And it has been missing for the 20 or so odd episodes that you've been gone.
It's been 20 episodes already.
I don't know. I'm taking, you know me in episode
It's
numbers.
been 4 months. 4 times 4. 4
12
months is 16. Yeah, 16. Almost 20.
4 times. Oh,
Well,
wow.
I'm rounding up.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I mathing on you?
Yeah, PlainGuy with the math struggles. I'm thankful I'm not Robert with 7 kids. I can't figure out 4 times 4, let alone names of 7 people. I couldn't do the math on how many times it takes having the fun to make that many children. Before we started recording, guys, we did get, I know some of you are listening, we do have a lot of sponsors we want to thank for today's show and through their support through the entire podcast and since the towing life was started. Tonight we've got the wonderful folks over at BakPul Hitches. They've been huge supporters of us over the last year or so. We will be giving away a BakPul hitch later on in the episode, so stay tuned to find out how you're going to win that or have a chance to win it. The wonderful folks over at Tow Canada Magazine, where Sarah was a freelance writer. I don't want to say a staff writer. I don't know how that works.
I used to be the assistant editor. Now I'm a freelance writer for them.
Okay. So we met her through
the
Tow
editor.
Canada.
She's awesome.
Yes, Eva is
Eva.
amazing. I've spoken with her many of times. I hope to meet her this summer. We're going to get a chance to meet her in person at the Ontario Tow Show in September. So the folks over at Tow Canada Magazine, again, thank you for the support. Different articles over the years, or over the year from yourself, Sarah, from other advertisement opportunities we've had with them. It's been awesome. We are going to be giving away 2 one-year subscriptions to digital and print magazine for Tow Canada Magazine, again, a little later on in the show. And of course, the $50 Amazon gift cards, we're giving away 2 of those in the show today as well, courtesy of PlainGuy Productions, aka the Towing Life Podcast. We are not a title sponsor by any means, but we're just happy to be here. G and I pulled all of our tip money together for the last couple weeks, and we decided that we're going to give away 2 Amazon gift cards. So
You only got $50 in tips in the last 2 weeks with how hot it's been?
I'm not on the truck as much as I should be.
Oh.
I mean, staffing, I'm going to be a lot more over the next couple of weeks while we sort stuff out. But yeah, no, I haven't been. So no. So thank you for that. Guys, if you haven't as well, don't forget to check out our Recovery of the Month contest. You can enter it by heading over to www.towinglife.ca/recovery and submit some photos and your story of your best recovery. We've had winners for January, February, March, April, May, June. Next up is July. Even if you don't win the first month you submit, you're always in the running. We constantly take our pool of entries, take the highest rated recovery from there. So you get in now, get your chance to win. You can get a $50 Amazon gift card, as well as a spot in our 2024 calendar that'll go for sale at the end of 2023. And G, when does the contest end? September 31st? September 30th? The last day of September?
September 30th, I think it was.
September 30th. Contest ends. So be sure to head over to towinglife.ca/recovery to get that in.
Yeah, we didn't transfer that over in the note.
No, we did not. Also, our merch store is open. Head over to towinglife.ca/shop. You can get any of the shirts. One similar to what G is wearing right now. I'm not wearing mine. It's too hot in my office to have mine on. And we did, before the show started, we ran a little contest. All you guys had to do was like, comment, and share for a chance to win a design of your choosing from our store. We are happy to announce that the winner of that t-shirt giveaway is going to be Buntin Towing Limited. I'm not sure where they're out of. I should have checked in. So if you are here, Buntin Towing Limited, be sure to reach out to us. If not, we'll reach out to you after the show. Figure out how to get you your order shipped out to you. No charge, no cost to you. Thank you for sharing and raising awareness for the live stream we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
G, you got anything to add to that?
No, we do have quite a few things actually on top for you today. Unfortunately, we have not currently hit the 400 subscriber goal over on YouTube to hear what went on with my father. So if you do really want to hear that story, if we can hit the 400 subscribers before the end of this live, I'll tell a story. But as of yet, I'm sorry. Sorry about your luck.
That's actually pretty impressive. I mean, I don't think we're gonna hit those numbers, but you guys go ahead, share the YouTube page, get the likes, because this story, we were talking about it pre-show. Sarah didn't know the background on this story. I've never asked G about his family matters other than I knew he was close with his mom.
Yep.
All I know about his dad is it involves a trumpet, a hospital visit, and that's about it.
Yep.
And I really want to know this story. It's really bugging me. We talked before the show, and I was really hoping you would actually tell this story, regardless if we hit the followers. But we did not. And G is being a man of his word, as frustrating as that is, and will not reveal the story. So for those of you wondering, head over to the YouTube. Like I said, like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, notify. Hit a thumbs up if you like us. Hit it twice if you don't. Either way, tell YouTube what you really think of us. And if we hit that 400, when we hit that 400, even if it isn't on the live, how about that, G? Is that a fair deal? When we hit the 400 subscriber,
yeah,
will you tell the story on the next episode?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fair.
So that is fair. That is our goal for the next 100 episodes moving forward, which it shouldn't take that long with all of our wonderful listeners. But that is the goal, to hear about the story of a hospital visit and a trumpet, and why I've never heard about Tom and G's dad. It's like my favorite part of the show. Like, it's just I feel bad for picking on you.
Do you? I thought you got pleasure in it.
I get short-term pleasure in the like when it happens. Like, I get little butterflies and feel happy for a short period of time, and then afterwards I feel sad.
Toman127 is in the chat.
Perfect. Yeah, after that I feel sad. So we talked about it. You said you're not getting more than $50 tips in the last 2 weeks with all this hot weather. Fun fact, I've got some heat wave tips and tricks. Did you know that apparently this week was the highest average registered temperature on Earth? Like, really? Average across the entire planet was the highest. It beat it by, I don't know, probably 0.025 of a degree from previous. So, and I don't know where you guys are located listening. Gee, I know where you're at, Sarah. I don't know what it's like down in the south. I think it's always hot.
Yeah.
But we have been having a heat wave galore up here.
Yeah.
The humidity is deadly. It's every day. You wake up in the morning and it's 30-some degrees outside. It's been hot. So a fun tip and trick I found for the guys that's going to keep you cool and also keep you getting tips, right, is to bring a cooler. Everybody's got a cooler somewhere, whether it be a lunch kit, whether they got a spare cooler laying around their house. It doesn't have to be a fancy cooler. Go to even if it's the convenience store. They sell 12 packs, 20 packs of water bottles for like $5-6. Get that in a bag of ice. You're $10 in. Fill it up, leave it in your truck for the day. Not only is it going to keep you with that cold water that you're really going to want after doing a tire change in 40-degree weather, but when you get that customer who's been broken down on the side of the road for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hopefully not 45, 50, 60 minutes, and you show up and you offer them an ice cold water, you will gain your money back in tips easily. It's true. Yeah. It's like being an Uber driver that gives you a charging cable, right, for your phone and has little things, whatever. You're going to tip that guy. He's going to get it back more than what you invest into it. It is a very easy way to make some money. It's great for customer service, right? I've never heard a customer complain. That tow driver was so rude to me. He offered me a bottle of water, right? I don't know about you, G, but I've never gone down that road with one.
No. I do. I remember we talked about this not too long ago, and you were blown away that I like room temperature water.
Yeah, okay, that is weird.
I do too. I'm into that.
Okay, but I like room temperature water. I have like a room temperature water bottle here, right? But what I'm saying is that if you have the choice between an ice cold bottle of water, and not like ice cold frozen, but a nice cool bottle of water, or a room temperature water, you're telling me you're taking the room temperature water?
Yep, every day.
Me
every
too.
time.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Me and Sarah are a lot alike. Well, you were gone
We are.
in the pre-show. I was talking to her about my chicken fiasco, and she's all for it. She doesn't think I'm
I
starting
want to be a
cult.
farmer. Yeah, no, that
He's
sounds
starting
great.
adults. He's starting a compound. Next goes
We
the
call
high
it
gates
a
and
friendship farm in my family.
That's good. I'm stealing that.
A friendship farm. It's a convent. I'm pretty sure there's many news articles of places that started off as friendship farms too. It went south real quick.
Oh, look,
Don't drink
our
the Kool-Aid.
commenters are saying what they like too. Do you guys like ice cold or room temperature water
Eric
more?
says that he likes ice cold water.
Thank you, Eric.
So we're
Jesus,
2 and
about time
2.
we find a little bit of stability in this conversation.
But Eric also bought one of our phone cases. That
I did
arrived
see that.
at his
That was
place the
awesome.
other day.
But Brienne
Brian.
likes room temp.
Mhm.
What is wrong with people? I
Room temp water.
never thought this would be a conversation. So you're telling me after slugging out a tire change in 40, 50 degree weather that you are going room temperature water?
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. So like I fill this up from the tap every morning and a water bottle to take with me. And I just leave this in the truck. It's not hot, but it's not cold. I'm not a big fan of hot water, but like I'll still drink it because water's wet. Is water wet? I don't know.
There's
Tastes
the
wet.
clip for the episode. I like it because water is wet. So, anyways, fun little facts like that. Fine. So keep a case of lukewarm water too, right? Like keep a case of lukewarm water in your backseat too. Even better, you don't need the cooler. Maybe you do to keep it room temperature. Ron's coming in as long as it's wet. I don't care. G and I are fighting over the button to make it show up on the screen. As long as it's wet, I don't care. Fair enough. I mean, can we at least say then if you got the chance you had an ice cold beer in room temperature, you're going with the room temperature too? I think if you commit to one, you got to commit to all.
I don't really drink beer.
Well, that's right. I forgot about that. Sarah,
But
your
like,
sweet
if
tea
I'm
is
having
cold.
a rum and Coke, I will put the rum in the fridge and I'll leave the Coke out on the counter.
I have to say I had a beer on July 4th because down here we celebrated July 4th, not July 1st.
Chesmerica, yes.
And I waited all day to drink my open beer, and I thought it tasted best like 4 hours after I opened it when it lost some of its fizz, and it was room temperature.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-hosts are psychopaths. I don't know what to do with this kind of information.
See, Tollman127 is down there saying room temperature is better to drink for your
He's
body.
right.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, I've heard that argument before too. It's really hot, the shock to the system that a nice ice cold water can do. Again, I'm not talking about a frozen water bottle. I'm talking about a cold water in some ice inside a cooler. Like it's cold water. It's not ice cold water. I have heard that argument before. You got to watch that on a hot summer day. Don't go, you know what I mean? Throw yourself, cover yourself in ice cold water. It can really shock the system. It can do some damage to the body. So absolutely, you don't want to be doing, anything like that. But I never thought this would even be a debate. That being said, we do have a special guest that's going to be joining us.
A live stream and a guest on the show?
You guys are getting twice the value out of this one for sure. So we are going to be getting joined. I will bring her on by Devin from Haas Alert Systems. Since 2015, Haas Alert's mission has been to build life-saving mobility solutions to make vehicles and roads safer and smarter. We're going to talk to her a bit about what is Haas Alert System. I know we've been hearing it across the industry. I've heard it come up. I've seen it come up on social media. I've seen some different things. I don't really have a true understanding of what it is or what it does. I don't know if you guys do, but if not, Devin is here to answer all of our questions. So without ado, thank you, Devin, for joining us on the Towing Life podcast, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I think we're equally as excited. We haven't done a guest in a little while, the way everything has been going and how busy it's been. So to not only have a guest, but also have a live show and somebody to talk about a system that we've been seeing more and more out there. Like I remember, 2015 is what's surprising to me about the Haas Alert system, because I found it really seems to have gained some traction and popularity in the last year or so. Before that, I'd never heard of it. Haas, as far as I knew, was a racing team out of the States.
Yeah, Stuart Haas Racing, right?
Exactly. Is there any relation to that? Is this like, or is this, no, it's just an acronym?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an acronym. So our CEO's last name is Host, and then I think it turned into Haas, and then it's Haas Alert Safety Cloud. But yeah, there's no relation, but we get that a lot.
I mean, it's a good play. If I was that, I would be like, I'd go after Schwarzenegger. I'd make some name of some company that had a little bit of famous tint to it, hoping it might take off a little easier. But so Devin, what is the Haas Alert system?
Yeah, so basically what we do is we make cars talk to each other. And the reason that you hadn't heard too much about it is we really just started getting into the towing industry in the end of 2020 and early 2021. When I was actually hired right at the beginning of 2021 to help to grow the towing side. And since then, we've gained hundreds of towing customers. We have thousands of people using our system, and I'm pretty sure we're close to about 1,000 towers. So what it is that when you have your tow truck stopped on the side of the road and you turn on your beacons like you do every time, that creates what we call the safety cloud. And that cloud is sending messages into drivers' cars. So drivers like me and drivers like Sarah, and we get that message inside, and it's an audio and visual alert. And it would actually say, like I see that, Towman 127 is here because they like Towman 127 is ahead, slow down and move over. We also work with fire, police, school buses, basically anyone who's at risk of getting struck and killed or at risk of just being hurt on the side of the road. We can help protect them.
Right.
Does it come through like but does it come through like if you have Google Maps or something up? Is that how it works, or what does it come through? What system do you have to have open on your phone?
So we actually work native in certain vehicles. So we're on most 2018 or newer Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, or Jeep. So in those vehicles, you don't even need to have your phone open. You don't even need to be using GPS navigation. And if you are using your phone or using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto or Ford Sync 3, then it comes through either Waze or Apple Maps.
Cool.
So, and it's a technology that's linked directly through the tow truck. So a company that's interested in this actually installs a module inside their truck.
So we have a couple different ways. So for example, we just started working with CAA South Central Ontario, and through them, we actually work through their dispatching software. So what happens is when they dispatch a tow truck, we actually start protecting the driver who's on the side of the road before the tow truck even gets there. And then we also have modules that actually I have one right here. I can just show you guys. So you have like a small transponder that gets connected right into the truck. And this detects when the beacons are on. Your beacons are on, we start alerting. And then for some companies, they're using maybe Samsara or Webfleet or Geotab. We can alert through that too. So it really just depends on, we try to make it customized because we know in towing, you have one truck companies, you have 500 truck companies, and we want to be able to protect everybody. So we try to be flexible. And
so what happens? You say that device knows when your beacons turn on, and that's what sends out the alert. What happens when a driver forgets to turn his beacons off?
Like driving.
So if you, so like driving in
like that ever happens.
I don't know what it is about the city of Toronto, but every single tow operator here likes to drive with their lights on all the time.
I'm convinced they're wired to the ignition. Like they're just as soon as it turns on, the beacons just go on.
They must get so confused when I pull up beside them and roll down my window and start yelling at them to turn their beacons off. This girl, like, what does she want?
Yeah.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Why does she care? We only alert for tow if you're stopped. So we can detect if you start moving and then we stop alerting. But for fire and ambulances, we actually do moving alerts. So we can, because it's a big problem. I'm sure you guys have friends who are firefighters that are trying to get to a scene and the people in the cars can't hear the sirens.
Yeah, music's up and people are so focused in now, they're not looking around. They have no spatial awareness. And yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. We had an accident we just did recently where a fire truck hit a guy. And what's great is they hit him because he wouldn't move out of the way. And then they just continued going. And they said, we'll come back to deal with you after. Like, hey, they did a good number on the car. He wasn't hurt. It wasn't hard enough to hurt anybody, but they left him there and said, we'll send the cops to deal with you. And came back after, because people aren't making aware. So that is cool. They would do like, because, has anyone ever been in an intersection where you're pulling up at an intersection and you hear it? You hear the siren. And you're like, where are you coming? Where are you? Yeah. Like behind me, in front, like which way are you coming from so that you can move out of the way? So no, that's awesome to have that kind of feature and that kind of support. So obviously it would be something hard to track, but Do you guys see a success rate in the slow down, move over campaigns with that system activated? Like, I imagine it would. Anytime you add an extra level of awareness, right? People nowadays, we talk about the desensitization of the amber light, where they come up on a truck with lights flashing. They're used to construction trucks. They're used to, Joe with his plow on, not a city plow, but whatever, just running around with his beacon light on. This gives them that visual and audio alert that, no, that is a tow truck. That is a fire truck. That is a police officer. That is any of those things. Is there a way that you guys can track any sort of success, or is it kind of it's a given that it's going to add some level of success?
So we've actually, there's three quick points I want to touch on here, because that's awesome. One is that we have a lot of customers that they see the difference. They call me and they tell me that they see a difference. And they've actually, their drivers have seen a difference. One of our customers who was super skeptical, he was in California, put it in his trucks and didn't tell his drivers. And his drivers, he was like trying to overhear. And one guy came back, he goes, wow, I don't know what's going on if there's a slow down and move over campaign, but I'm really seeing a difference. So we have that aspect. But then, of course, we also are working with, we worked with Purdue University a couple summers ago. We did a big study with them. And we were able to see an 80% reduction in hard braking, which is huge, because I know you guys have probably been on a scene and you hear
secondaries. Yeah.
You hear those secondary crashes happen. What a lot of people don't realize is that every minute that you're on scene, your risk goes up 2%, and that's exponential. So it's not a curve like this, it's a curve like this. So every minute that you're on there, the risk is increasing at an exponential rate. So, and those secondary crashes become more and more likely. So we saw a huge reduction in that. And then there's also been found to be a 90% reduction in the odds of a crash. So we're seeing with the data that it's working, and then we're talking to our customers and we're hearing that it's working. And like you said, it's an additional tool in the safety tool belt. You guys still need to do all of that safety stuff that you're doing. But what happens is this alert is getting people, like you said, they're in that daze, right? Yeah. They're thinking about what's for dinner, or,
Yeah. What kind of bad day they had, or, yep.
Exactly. Listening to their music. And it's that breaking that bubble to we call it disrupt the distraction, so that they actually then see your high vis, they see your cones, see your flares, see your trucks. To your point about fire trucks, we follow all of the news, and I am shocked at how many people hit fire trucks, stopped fire trucks. They go through the cones, through the flares, to the chevrons, and smash into the back of a fire truck. It happens all the time. And the firefighters on scene will say, it's like they didn't see us. And it's true, they didn't see them. So we get them to open their eyes so they see you.
That's crazy. No, obviously, like I said, anything that can bring awareness to the slow down, move over campaign, right? That is pretty much what we live and die by, literally speaking.
Literally,
right? Yeah, literally live and die by the slow down, move over awareness, and you know what I mean, just drivers being able to spot us and hopefully do the right thing. So to have that extra tool in the toolbox, like you said, in the safety tool belt, so to speak, is a huge asset. So I know we can't keep you too long. I do appreciate you coming on, Devin. Is there anywhere that people can find you? Where should they? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Where can they get more information on yourself, the Hoss Alert system, and any other projects that you got going on?
Yeah, so I actually am a huge slow down and move over advocate myself as well. And I started a TikTok. You can find me at slow down and move over, all one word, on TikTok. I do some also promote the museum on there, and I don't get paid to do that. I just think the museum is really important to preserve the history of towing. I do something I tried to do every Monday, but it's so, as you guys know, it's so hard to keep up with social media stuff. So I do a series called Museum Mondays, which I encourage you guys to share. With what I really want to do is get people outside of the towing industry aware of the important and valuable work that you guys do. I think that's my personal mission, is I want the average everyday person to finally understand that you guys are what the service that you guys are providing and how you really are helping people. You're an essential service for everyone on our roads, and for the economy. The economy would stop without you guys. So you can find me on TikTok at Slow Down and Move Over. Please share that with your outside of towing network. That's made for people who aren't in the industry. I'm also on Instagram at that same thing. You can find me on Facebook. Just look for Devin Banks. And then, of course, we have our website, which is Hoss Alert, HAASalert.com. And, if you want to book some time and talk to me, it's just a conversation like this about safety. I can get you guys the exact pricing that you want, but I don't ever want to pressure anybody. So even if you're just a little bit curious, you can reach out and we can have the conversation.
Perfect. I think that's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time at least to come on. We will look into a future episode on doing an actual deep dive into the Haas alert system. So I wanted to kind of give our listeners and our viewers an opportunity to kind of get a little gist of it and go, hey, it's something, they start bugging us for. When are you guys going to do that episode about Haas alert? And we'll help build it up, and we'll definitely have you on. G, before we let her go, or Sarah, before we let Devin go, do you guys have any questions for that you can think of?
I have two. One, are you talking about the toy museum in Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Is that yeah, okay. I've been up there. It's really awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And two, I'm just wondering, do you have like a percentage of how many vehicles on the road are getting these alerts?
So it's really hard to tell because we never know if someone's using Waze or Apple Maps or they're driving in the native vehicle. We know the native alerts are going to millions of vehicles because we know that there's millions of 2018 or newer Stellantis vehicles. We know pretty much everyone using an iPhone is probably using Apple Maps because it's the default.
No, I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to say nothing. I'm a Samsung user, but
I'm an iPhone user. I have Chrome and Google Maps.
Me too.
Like Safari and Apple Maps.
We know that Waze is the #1 GPS mapping navigation app. So yeah, it's really hard. And I don't like to sound like I'm not being transparent when I answer that. We just never really know. But we do know that not every car needs to get an alert for everyone to slow down.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because all the other cars will slow down behind it. And we do know that we are working with, and I can't unfortunately say again who it is, but if I say Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, Jeep, you guys can move down the line. And we are talking to them to become native in every vehicle. In the auto industry, they say no one wants to be first and no one wants to be last. So we got the first.
Yeah.
And now we're just working to bring on the next ones. So it's going to be more and more every day.
Perfect.
Well, I have noticed because ever since I got into the towing industry, I've always slowed down and move over. And I find that if I put my blinker on and get into the next lane, usually the guy behind me is like, oh, what's going on? And they pull over. So if at least even 10% of the vehicles on the road are getting alerts, then it is going to start a movement to get people over.
Yes. No. And I can see Tillman127 say we need to get on Google Maps. And he's right. We are working with Google. Google actually owns Waze.
Yeah, that's what's funny.
Right now.
Google Maps.
It's funny because if you look at Google Map like Waze, you can actually say, like something on the road or whatever, but you can't do that with Google Maps yet. And that's sort of the barrier. So once Google kind of catches up with the times, then we will be on there. It's not a matter of if, it's just when.
When they integrate the software they bought.
Yeah.
That's right. For $1 billion.
Yeah, for $1 billion. And they still haven't figured out how to quite port it back over. So
while we're here, I just want to ask our listeners today what they use, because we have somebody uses Apple. No, I can't stand Apple Maps. Lots of Google Maps. What do you guys use? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Apple Maps sucks. Thank God we're not sponsored by Apple.
I hate Waze. Absolutely hate it.
I liked it. Oh, you hate it?
What do you use, Tomenji?
Roadside.
No, I hate it because it gives me ads. I can't stand advertisements.
Ads? Wait, there's ads on Waze?
Yep. Whenever you stop, you get a drop down. It shows you an ad for something. And I can't
No, that's more distracted driving.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Google Maps needs to cut the crap and get on the ball. Yeah, I can't stand Apple Maps. I think, like I said, I think everyone's got their personal favorites. And the fact that you guys have integrated into a couple of them is definitely a step in the right direction. Like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's when. And, hopefully one day we can slowly, these stats we have on the screen that there's more than 115,000 highway work zone crashes in 2019, including 762 fatal collisions. Hopefully that number will start to move down. It's amazing that as the cars have gotten smarter, the drivers have gotten dumber. And it's led to an increase in all this. So it's sad that we have to, hey, there's somebody there for you to see, hey, there's somebody there. But at the same time, any step we can take to try and save a life. I mean, save one. All it needs to do is save one, right? If it saves one, it's a success. If it saves more, it's a bonus. That's the way I look at it. So yeah. Thank you, Devin, once again for joining us, guys. Head over and find her. TikTok, Instagram. Head over there on Facebook.
Thank you.
Hustler System. Thanks for joining us, Devin. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Devin. Nice to meet you.
Yes,
hopefully I'll see you guys at the PTAO show in September.
Perfect. We'll be there.
Okay, awesome.
So that is awesome. That is some great news, some great information. It was great that we were able to find the time with Devin to be able to sit down today and talk about it. I know I seen the comment at the beginning, sales guests are the worst. I know you guys, no one's selling you anything here. We're giving you information. You don't have to buy it. We don't get a kickback from it. I don't care if you buy it or don't buy it. I don't know what the costs are involved with it. I don't know. That is something we can do on a deeper dive. If you guys are interested, we will bring Devin back on a future episode, do a little deeper dive on it and see what the advantages are, if there's disadvantages, and get you guys the most relevant information out there to do it.
For sure.
G, what do you have for us today?
I think it's about time we do a giveaway, I think.
You know what? You were right. I thank you for for reminding me of that. We are going to start with a wonderful giveaway for everyone that is listening. Get in now. It is pretty simple. In the chat, all you have to do is type in #TowCanada. It's down there on the bottom of your screen from wherever you're watching, YouTube or Facebook.
TowCanada, no spaces.
No spaces, #TowCanada. And we'll give you a couple minutes to get that going. You'll get a chance to win one. We're going to draw 2 winners of a 1-year print/digital subscription to Tow Canada magazine. They do, what is it? You can speak more to this, Sarah. They do, how many episodes a year? 6 episodes a year? 6 editions?
We don't do episodes. We're print.
I'm sorry. It's too old for me.
The year, yeah.
So it's 6 episodes a year plus. Oh, you have one?
Yeah. This is the article I did on Brad Stratichuk.
Oh, yeah, I have one too. Look.
Oh, we have matching.
Oh, you did that one? I read that article.
Yeah.
That was a good article.
Thank you. I really enjoyed that article. I thought it was really interesting because he talks about, he's one of the old school towers, and I guess some of our listeners can probably talk to this better than us youngsters. Not that I think any of us feel that young anymore, but he recognizes that the old ways are dying, and he recognizes that the young people need a better work-life balance and they need all these new things. But he threw his hands up in the air and says, I have no idea how to give it to them. And he says, whoever figures that out has won the towing industry. But it's just, he doesn't pretend to have the answers. And I really respected him for that.
I think that's what we're seeing a lot across the industry, right? Is the old way isn't working. Nobody's really found a new way, right? Everyone's trying. They're trying different things. You kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But, the newer generation is different than the older generation, just like the older generation is different than the even older generation. Yeah. Right? I've caught myself being that old man where I sit there and I go, the new generation, I don't know what's wrong with them. They don't want to work. They don't have that drive. And I'm not that old, right? Sarah, you and I are about the same age. I didn't know that until you said your age earlier in the episode. But I remember my dad saying the same thing about my generation. And I'm sure his dad said the same thing about his generation. And eventually, though, they've adapted. They've adapted and the world has come around and they've figured out new ways to come in. So we are slowly working at that. But I think that's awesome. If you can come out and say, like, it needs to change, but I don't have the answers. I think that's how a lot of us feel. Right? I think that's a lot of us how we feel.
What's your one old man thing about you? Mine is automatic headlights. I hate them. I turn my lights on manually every single time, and I turn them off every single time, and I hate them so much because the people who use the automatic headlights, the one time they'll bump it, and they'll be driving down the road. Their dash is on because all the dashes have backlight now. Back in the early 2000s, that wasn't a thing. So you had to turn your headlights on. And they're just plowing down the road, doing 90, 100 kilometer an hour, with no lights on.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that. Just their daytime running lights. Because I think daytime
They
running
have
lights
no idea.
Are daytime running lights mandated in the U.S. or is that just a Canada thing? I think that's North America, right? Like you guys have daytime running lights.
I think it's North America. My new car, my 2012 Honda Fit, my brand new car, is the first time I've ever had automatic lights. And yeah, I have to remind myself to turn them on because your dashboard is on and everything.
All right, we're gonna give a couple more people a chance to get in. If you haven't already, be sure to type in the chat #TowCanada. You'll see it right there up on the screen. You guys will all be entered in for a draw. We will be picking 2 winners of a 1-year subscription print/digital. I know the digital is awesome. That's how I get my subscription. I've got a digital and a print. I keep my prints. They're great to have around, but at the same time, I always have my digital one when it comes out. I'm normally on my phone reading it, which is awesome. There's been some awesome stories. I've seen some releases, some new stories coming out on this edition that just came out. Awesome information on there. Awesome people that work there. Awesome. The work you guys do is, Sarah, I speak for you as well. It's very hard. I wrote a couple articles back when. That's how this whole crazy story of a podcast even started way back in the day, was me writing articles. But it's no easy joke. So give credit to the ones that do it, and head on over. And even if you don't win, you can head over to, is it toecanada.ca? Should have gotten that ahead of time. toecanada.ca, and you can subscribe for yours if you are not one of the lucky winners of our draw tonight. So yay for Sarah.
I'm really liking this trending hashtag going on in the comments. Yeah.
That's why people keep coming back. They're hoping you're going to be on the next episode, and that's the only thing that's been keeping our viewership over the last 4 months.
I miss this. I'm going to have to find a way to be a mom and also a podcaster again, because this is pretty cool.
Be a mom and a podcast mom, because you truly have kept us in check. Like, if you haven't been listening to the shows, they go off the rail a little bit whenever Sarah's not here. Like, we get a little off topic. Like, even with Devin, we wouldn't think to ask the questions that you asked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think of that. I'm like, just ask her, what is it? And you're like, ooh, I have a question. How many vehicles is it getting to? How is it, all this stuff? And I'm like, God damn it, that's her like investigative reporter side of her that we need on this show week in, week out. So
do you, Bowman127 asks, do you get all of them from the first issue on digital?
Yes, you can go and look at the history.
Yes, there's the archives all the way back. You can find my first.
I think it's only back till, no, it might only be back like 5 years now. I'm not sure.
Oh,
maybe.
So at least a couple years worth of archives. So there's plenty of you to read. You can all go see all of Sarah's awesome articles. Some of them include us, most of them don't.
But I have been in the actual like hard copy library, and if you ever need an old copy of Toe Canada, they exist back to like, I think this is the 20th year anniversary. So we're talking all the way back in 2003.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that was 20 years ago.
Isn't it crazy when you think of something in the 2000s being 2 decades ago?
Because I still think like a 2008 truck is new.
I think my 2012 car is new.
Gee, a 2008 will be fancy new on your convent farm. All right, we're going to go ahead and draw the first winner. I don't know if you guys can see, it's not a very, it shows up big enough down in the corner. So our first winner of the Toe Canada magazine subscription is, it's going to stop eventually, Toeman 127. There you go.
Nice.
Toeman, nice. Find out for us how far back the archives go. So we will reach out to you after the episode, and you'll be able to, we'll get you set up with Toe Canada. We'll put you in contact with them. They will get you set up for your subscription. So that works out awesome. The man with all the questions is going to get to answer himself and save us the legwork. All right. So for the second winner of the Toe Canada magazine subscription.
Oh, we're doing them both together. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do both those together.
Okay.
Jesse Laramie. I should actually know that, Jesse. I do know Jesse personally. So congratulations, Jesse. You will have a new one that you can go put into the staff bathroom, and you guys can share and read while you're in there for your 30-minute at a time breaks. And yes, they do happen. Don't let anybody fool you.
Yes. Congratulations, guys.
So that is our first of multiple giveaways that we do have going on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We will get that one over.
I wanted to touch on the old man thing that I brought up, because I had the opportunity to drive a Ford Ranger the other day, which I think is one of like the newest vehicles that I've driven for an extended period of time. It was like one of the brand new Rangers, and it had active cruise control and lane keep assist.
Yes.
I've never driven a vehicle with any of these, and the adaptive cruise control freaked me out until I realized it shuts off at 20. Like, it just says beep and nope, screw you, and you'll plow into the guy in front of you if you're not careful.
Well, you're doing 20.
I know, but it's still, I know some vehicles will actually bring you to a complete stop and use the brakes, and then you can carry on again. But the lane keep assist, I was just putting along in the right-hand lane, and the highway's fairly straight that I was traveling on. But when you say straight, I mean like it winds a bit. I barely had to touch the steering wheel at all. Like, I can't remember that drive at all because my hands never moved. And it's just one of the reasons why I feel like I'm an old man in that aspect, where I enjoy driving and like the actual turning on your headlights, using your blinker, just stuff like that. I want to be a part of the drive and the journey. I just don't want to be a passenger in the driving seat. And what are your thoughts? Have you ever driven a vehicle with that?
I'm a manual. I hunted high and low for a manual vehicle, and it was so hard after the year 2010. They almost don't exist anymore. I don't think they make them. I don't know if like an economy car would be made manual anymore, but I hate driving automatic because I find you just zone out so much. And I've actually read an article where a psychologist was talking about how if you drive manual, it makes you a better driver, which I mean might be a bias because obviously I drive manual, but it's because you're more aware of what's going on in your car. You're more aware. Yeah, big old pat on the back for me. You're more aware of what's going on, and I think the more we have these advanced driver assist systems, the less people are actually using their brain to drive.
Well, yeah, I think you're more one with your vehicle when you're driving stick. Like I used to have a Ford Focus, and it had the 5-speed in it, and I loved that car. It was fun. It was quick. I was able to, actually enjoy driving it again. But unfortunately, it made it a pain anytime I had to go to the city and stop and go traffic.
That's what I was going to say. There is situations where it's beneficial. Yes.
So, and I get, like, I bought a car. I didn't know how to drive. That's how I learned how to drive stick. No one taught me. I taught myself. And so I'm probably not the best, but I also have a tractor. So I knew how the basics, right? Ride the clutch and everything. Anyway.
Ride the clutch.
Yeah. You ride the clutch. You'll be fine.
Just ride the clutch the whole time. Just don't worry about it. Just ride it. You'll be fine.
That smell? I don't know what that smell is. That's normal. But no, like it adds to it. But on the flip side, if you're not a competent driver to begin with, it's an added level of complexity that it may take your focus away from, right? So like I know some people that barely can drive down the road without having to worry about shifting gears. So I can only imagine if you stick them in a manual, they'd probably plow into someone because they're looking down. Okay, where's third?
My wife. 100%.
Because I know myself with impounds, I got to get into all these different cars to move them around or whatever. And a lot of these shift knobs don't actually have the shift pattern. So now you got to, okay, does this one pull up or push down? And which side is reverse on this one? Over to the right and down or over to the left and up? And okay, just take your foot out of the clutch a little bit, see what way we roll. Okay, I'm in reverse.
No, that's the comment about grind it till you find it.
Exactly.
No, I same thing. I learned how to drive standard. Cars, everything is fine. You still put me, I hate to say it, and we're seeing this. This isn't just for our everyday drivers. This has now gone to our professional commercial drivers, right? AZ drivers that can't drive stick either. Now, I'm the first guy to tell you, an 18 speed is 8. It isn't 18. I ain't splitting them. I have a heck of a hard enough time as it is. Splitting them is just a whole nother level that I don't want to get into. Low range, high range confuses me enough. I'll figure it out eventually with more and more driving and proper training. But when we have professional drivers now that can't drive stick.
Professional.
Yes. Right. We have truckers that automatic is becoming the new thing. Companies I've heard aren't buying standards because they don't know for resale in a couple years. Right. There's a limited market that can drive the standards. A standard transmission is almost like a IQ test for a driver. And now, I don't mean if you can't drive standard, you're stupid.
That's what you're saying. Don't sugarcoat it.
No, but I'm saying if you can't drive standard, you shouldn't be driving 80,000 pound loaded cargo behind you.
Yeah.
Because like if all you can do is push the gas and hit the turn signal.
If they do that.
Right? Like if they do that, I mean, there's got to be a certain level. Get rid of the transport training. Just make them take it in a standard. It's all the training you need. But yeah, absolutely. It's a 5-speed transmission, a 6-speed transmission in the car. They are fun to drive. And it is true. Like the thing I hated about, I had rented one years ago, a Dodge Durango. that had that same thing. It had the active cruise. Now that is really cool because there's nothing worse than being on a 400 highway, coming up behind somebody and having to, kick off your cruise for that split second just to catch up with them, and then waiting for a car to pass you, whatever, where this just auto adjusts it when you're ready to pass, it speeds back up. Like, it was nice. But the auto lane correct, what would happen is I would see myself wandering. So I would start to give a little correct and the car would give a little correct at the same time. Like, I just didn't like that. I didn't like that. Like, it feels like I'm not driving the car. But, like you said, I don't mind the adaptive cruise. I think that's a really nice thing. One of my tow trucks actually has it. It never works.
Typical.
Dodge life. But no, it is a nice feature and a nice touch to have. But it's true. The more cars are getting all this, blind spot detections used to not be a thing. Now people rely on them. They're not looking over their shoulder. They're going, my light's not on. Here I come.
Actually, right? I noticed that because I've got a 4th gen Dodge with tow mirrors, and that's the same as my tow truck is. And I never really have to do a shoulder check because the mirrors are so big. I've got a blind spot that's about this big. If I can't see you in the mirror, I can pretty much see you right out of my peripheral vision, out of my driver's side window. I was driving this Ranger and it had the adaptive, or the stupid little lights. And I'm pretty sure you probably remember when my girlfriend was driving both our drunk asses home from the brewery at the tow show, my mirrors were folded in and she got in the truck and I was like, don't forget to unfold your mirrors. Oh, I don't need those, she says. My Jeep has the lights. Why would I need mirrors? And to be honest with you, driving the Ranger, it had tiny little mirrors. So that light made a big difference because I started doing a lot more shoulder checks because I was like, there's a vehicle there. I can't see it. So then, oh yeah, there is a vehicle there. I think that's something that we take for granted, having big mirrors in our trucks too. It is true. The ability to see in your blind spot.
Can Dodge fix this? Okay. I'm going to hate on Dodge for a little second. The flip down mirrors. Yes, Ram. Yeah. The flip down mirrors. I know it looks stupid when you drive with the flip up mirrors around without a trailer. I get it. All right. Look, I'm a moose. Yeah. I get it. But flip down, those stupid, like what would be your lower convex mirror. Yeah. When it's on its side, I hate it. I hate it. Like, do like GM and just make the mirrors that slide in and out.
They changed that in the 5th generation mirrors. They've changed.
Now they slide in and out, and they're like GM mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I have one truck that has them. I can't stand them.
I hate it. That was the one thing Ram had going for it.
Look at my moose.
The 2nd gen, so like 2000 or 99, even before that, they all had the same style of tow mirrors, and that was just Dodge's and Ram's thing. That was their tow mirror. And now they said, oh well, we're just going to be like the competition and pull out instead of flipping out. There's some sexual jokes in there if you want to make them in the comments. I'm
sure we figured them out. I'm sure we figured them out. But no, it is, like I said, that goes back to the point that the cars are getting smarter, right? With, like I said, this blind spot detection, all this lane correction, all that it allows you to zone out. Where that before, when you draw an old piece of shit that was wandering all over the goddamn road, that you had to do everything to keep it in a straight line, you were a lot more aware what was going on. That way you thought, whenever that thing does pull hard left, where am I going to end up? You were aware. You've seen guys on the side of the highway. You've seen people pulled over. So it's, as one thing's getting better, another thing is getting worse. I see a question.
We have a couple of questions. I was going to hashtag get you guys back on track.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. So, Towman G, you like farming. Do you use a farming simulator?
Oh, yes. I've played Farming Simulator 19, which you play as well, or you played.
Oh, I played for a short time.
Yeah, you played, and you told me about it. This is like 5-6 years ago now. I was like, oh, that sounds stupid. And then when I bought my computer, no, I actually had it when I had my PlayStation. I bought it, and I play it a lot. No, I play the new one. I actually have it on my phone too, but I don't play it very much.
He plays it more than he drives a tow truck, I think is a pretty fair assessment to make.
Seems like a good thing to play while you're waiting for a call. Yeah. All right, but a serious question.
Yes.
I think this is a really good one. What is one thing you do differently compared to when you first started towing on the side of the road?
On the side of the road specifically?
Oh, I piss on the side of the road a lot more now than I used to. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I'm drinking more water or my bladder's getting smaller. I don't know.
You're more confident.
Yeah. Hit me. I don't care.
Something I do different now than when I was new. Well, I mean, I don't even remember. Like when I was new, I did a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you that I did a lot of things wrong, right? Like chaining vehicles and not putting a safety on before doing the chains off the back, and I almost looked like that guy in the Dodge video from back when. I don't know. Honestly, probably just more spatial awareness. The longer you're out there and the closer it gets, I don't think you ever get numb to traffic going by. Right? If you do, I hope you don't ever, but I think that's something we're just more aware. I probably turn my back a lot less. I have a lot more reasons that I want to go home at the end of the night than I did at 22. You know, I have a lot more reality of stories and people that I've known that have been hit or killed on the side of the road that, you know, it's something that sits in the back of your head a little bit more. So I'd probably say just being more aware of my surroundings. G?
Being more brazen on the road, I think. So, like, if I'm working on the side of the highway, I will stare down that mother trucker who's barreling towards me in the slow lane with a crack up bar in my hand. Or I'll stand there and wave and give them the finger, because how else are they going to learn, I guess.
It's true. I've like taken jack bars and like, you know, faked that I'm going to hit their mirror with it.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely, or made a gesture like I was throwing something, which is probably more dangerous because then they're going to swerve at the imaginary thing that I didn't throw and probably hit me. But
if they're swerving towards the direction of what is being thrown at them, they shouldn't be driving.
Well, again, there's a lot of people on the road, G, that shouldn't be driving. We have gone over this.
This is true. Yeah, they sign a lot of our paychecks.
All that warm water. Are we going back to the water talk, or all that warm water you're drinking is Towman 127? All that warm water is what's making you stop and pee so much. Yeah. I'm telling you, you drink cold water, things contract. You don't have to pee as much.
I find if I work harder throughout the day, I sweat most of it out, and I don't have to pee as much. That's a pro tip right there. Work like a dog, and you won't have to pee as much in the summer.
No, definitely getting out and peeing.
Wise words from Tomenji.
No, words to live by right there.
That's an off topic. How many places have you peed? Yeah, like I pee on the side of the highway everywhere.
One of our previous when we're driving, I'll say to my girlfriend, "I peed there."
It's not I towed that car.
Yeah.
It's I peed there. Oh my god! Hey, one of our former guests, we were supposed to have him on the show tonight. I never did finalize the plans to do it. He does more than just pee on the side of the highway. So I mean, I think we've got it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Question for producer Sarah: what's the biggest thing you've learned since beginning in the towing industry? I think it's a good one. I think that's a great one.
That's a good question. Coming into the industry, I knew absolutely nothing about towing. To be honest, I have a writing background, not a towing background. The first time I'd ever been towed, gotten my car towed, was actually the day before I started for Tow Canada. And I snapped a shot of my little VW Cabrio going up on the tow truck, and that ended up being the next cover photo of Tow Canada magazine. So I've learned a lot. I actually got to attend Wreckmaster level 2-3. And so I actually learned how to even like get a car up on a deck, which I knew nothing about. And I did learn how to drive a tow truck eventually and placed second in an amateur towing contest at the West Coast Tow Show.
Right. The first person cheated. Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was the daughter of
still an amateur.
Yeah, it was quite amateur. So in my heart, I placed first. I still have some trophies sitting on my desk.
They gave you a trophy for that? Wow, we need to go to tow shows. I need some trophies.
But seriously, the biggest thing I've learned is like how serious the job is. And it's something that I always took for granted. Devin talked a little bit about that today when she was on. And I really took tow truck drivers for granted. And I mean, I used to make a joke that now I couldn't go to dinner parties without advocating for tow truck drivers and just how important they are to society. I think it's Bruce from Wreckmaster that said that if all tow truck drivers just stopped work tomorrow, it would take 3 days for cities to just fall apart, because people don't realize like you can't get an ambulance where you want to go if a car is broken down and everyone's backed up behind it. And the vital role that tow truck drivers play in our systems is just so overlooked. And that's if there's something I wanted to tell everybody that wasn't a tow truck driver, is respect your tow truck drivers.
I think that's awesome. I think it's really mean that she would enter as an amateur. She's the daughter of a towing company.
I think so too. Yeah, like it was a little harsh.
I think that's a little rough, but no, it's and like I said, it was what Devin talked about, where you got to get outside the circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than a tow truck drivers yelling at an echo chamber in a Facebook group that is all tow truck drivers about slow down, move over. We get it, right? Like we have it on our page here. You know, again, it does not that it does nothing, but it does minimal, because it's like we all know that. Like we all know to slow down and move over. If you're a tow truck driver and you don't slow down and move over, you're just an asshole, right? Like you are just an asshole. So we really need to build it in the public, and for somebody like yourself to see it and then be able to advocate. You have more friends outside the towing industry than I do. I can tell you that for sure. So for you, for you to have that respect for it, it really helps promote our case.
Unfortunately, like most of us didn't even know about the slow down, move over law, and I have had friends and family been like, I slow down and move over for every tow truck because of you. And I'm like, yay, 10 people on the road.
I think it's pretty hard. Like if you think about content creators like Towman127 there, he originally started making tutorials on how to get things into neutral, right? Which is great. It's a great tool and resource for towers. And now he's switched to more like making recovery and towing videos, kind of like aiming towards the shows that we've seen on TV. And then you got Wags on TikTok, where he makes funny tow truck videos that can appeal to people that aren't just towers, right? And that's something that I think we're really lacking for us in the industry. And like, it's hard to say, because I know myself, you say that, oh, thank your tow truck driver, and that without us, the city would crumble in 3 days, which is true. But I don't think of myself like that. And I'm sure a lot of other tow truck drivers don't think of themselves like that. I know you see some of them that'll say, oh yeah, I'm a first responder. I'm a first responder. And that's, yeah, take a hike, bud, right? But it's that fine line of, okay, where does our pride take us to? Where does our job responsibilities take us to? And somewhere in the middle, we got to try to figure out, okay, how can we promote ourselves based on these traits and qualities to people outside, right? How can we say and show people that our lives matter? They do, but how can we resonate with them? And that's something that we've always struggled with, I think. And I think we'll continue to struggle with it.
Yeah, like I said, the guys like Towman and Wags and different guys like that, they're doing it to the general public, right? Mm-hmm. Like his TikTok videos are not geared all towards towers. Like some of them, yeah, they are. Like we get it. It's a reality that only we maybe face. Mm-hmm. But a lot of them actually are, you know what I mean? Something that the general public would find funny. Mm-hmm. So for that sake, it's all promotion. And it's true. Towing industry, we said it before, you need an A-type personality. You almost need to be arrogant to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Right? The problem is you also need to be humble. And remember, this job is hard. No one who's worked in the towing industry long enough is ever going to tell you that your job isn't hard. Your job is hard. Mm-hmm. Okay? Your job can be absolutely tough, but get off the first responder, you know what I mean, ride. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you got to humble yourself a little bit and go, absolutely, we are, you know what? I got no problem saying we're essential services. Mm-hmm. I have no problem saying that we're almost an emergency responder. Those are very fair statements to make. Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean? Like if you get unrealistic with this, oh, we're this or we're this or we're this, then no one's going to take you seriously. Know what you are, stay humble to it, and work towards a better future for it. Mm-hmm. So before we get into it,
sorry, I just wanted to add on. Like, I think guys like you two are what's changing the industry. Is, of course, when I first learned that every 6 days a tow truck operator dies on the road, like I was devastated by these statistics. I started posting them everywhere on Facebook. I let my small little universe know what was going on. But it's you guys out there on the road every day, engaging with customers in a positive way that's going to change the perception of who a tow truck driver is. So good on you guys for making a difference. Good on all our listeners. Just remember that you might feel like you're not making a difference, but every interaction you're having with a customer is promoting a more positive experience for them and changing the industry a little bit.
That's great. Yeah. That being said, who wants some gift cards?
Me. Can I get a gift card?
No, you can't.
Oh.
I pay you in peanuts.
I'll get the girlfriend to submit. Amanda.
Robin, get on and start submitting. I need to get these gift cards back. No, none of our immediate spouses can win. That's a fair rule.
Yeah,
that's a fair rule. So if you want a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card, we will be drawing 2 of them. It is pretty simple. Hashtag towing life. The thing we all live, breathe, and would rather forget on most days, but it is reality. It is what we're here for. I just want to see if this one works. Hey, this one works. So we lose producer Sarah. I could have put Sarah on a third person here. It would have worked really good if I was smart. Can I edit it on the fly? G, take it from there.
Robin, PlainGuy's beer is empty.
No, it's not. Look at that. I brought Sarah in. Look at that.
Oh, here I am.
Here I am.
Yeah, so hashtag towing life, no spaces in the chat.
Yeah, no spaces, hashtag towing life. We will give away 2 $50 Canadian, okay? Canadian Amazon gift cards. I don't want you Americans eating up
that's
our...
like $20 for us, you know.
Yeah, I don't want you guys eating up our advertisement budget. Which is the same amount that you can win if you are the winner of our recovery of the month. Yeah. Head over to towinglife.ca/recovery to enter your submission now for a chance to win another $50 Canadian Amazon gift card and a spot in our 2024 calendar. Don't forget, at the end of the show, we will be drawing a BakPul Hitch.
Yeah.
You guys have heard our ads forever now on the BakPul Hitch. I have one. G has one. I was just talking to a guy about one yesterday. He loves his BakPul Hitch. Mm-hmm. We've got one here up right behind me in a box still, ready to go in Canada if it's Canadian winner. If not, we'll send it right out of Louisiana to you if you are a winner in the States. So $12 US is one of the comments. Okay, our dollar sucks. You know what? Your economy almost defaulted. Go to hell. I kind of wish
the gold standard, would you?
I kind of wish it would have, because I was going to
actually the Canadian dollar's making a comeback.
Is it?
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada.
Like
so that means if the Canadian dollar makes a comeback, then you really, if you're in the States, you really want to get picked for the next month or no, at the end of the year. You'll definitely want to get picked closer to the end of the year, because then you'll get the most bang for your buck.
So submit now. I see a bunch of them coming in. Hashtag towing life. Hashtag towing life. That's a good trend. Hashtag Sarah's the best. Hashtag Sarah's back. No, those haven't been there. We really have missed you, Sarah. You're
good to be back.
Stroking your ego, but you're a much needed intelligence that this show is sometimes lacking.
Oh, that was a good gift idea. Can we win a calendar? That's something we could have done.
Can we win a calendar? You know what? We'll probably. Oof. Well,
Things to make you go,
I don't even have the calendars in production yet, but I mean, we're doing it. So I imagine we could. You know what? We will do a Facebook giveaway right around the time that the calendars, right when they're coming in for sale. We'll do a couple Facebook giveaways to get rid of some calendars. That's the deal I'll make for you, Robert. That was a great idea. Very smart thinker.
That's a producer Sarah idea right there, Robert.
Yes, that's an idea with some thought into it. So
I feel like he's trying to get my job.
Yeah. Robert's coming for you. I mean, Robert, if you're looking, I might be taking applications for Towman G's position, depending on how successful his convent is. Yeah. So if it goes really well, I might have to find a new co-host.
There might be a day where you hear toodles for the last time.
Oh, yeah. God, get out of here. It's 100 episodes and you're going to bring us down like that. All right. So if everybody is in with the hashtag towing life, we will run. I got to switch it over to this screen. Here we go. First winner of a $50 Canadian Amazon gift card is long and dramatic. Trey LaFin. That guy doesn't deserve to win. I definitely know that guy too, and he doesn't deserve to win. He doesn't deserve an ounce of that $50.
Congratulations, Trey.
Congratulations, Trey. All right. We will draw our second winner of the $50 Amazon gift card. Canadian. And the winner is...
I feel like a higher quality podcast would have...
Natural... I'm going to... Nate, someone pronounce that.
Naturalin Norad.
NORAD.
So little. NORAD. Okay, I thought that was an A.
Yeah, over on the YouTube side, what is great, it does tell us where the winner is from. So, Naturalin Norad, congratulations. Be sure to reach out to us, and we will get you your $50 Canadian Amazon gift card.
Naturalin.
Naturalin is actually a really cool name.
Yeah.
Somebody has a Naturalin. Yeah, somebody wrote Naturalin.
There we go. Okay. Naturalin. Thank you, Clayton, who has the same last name. So I'm assuming that they're
together.
They're together.
I'm sorry for absolutely butchering the pronunciation of that name.
We can't even edit that out.
yeah. You could have put a dash or something in there, but no, congrats. I'm just here for the giveaways. You need to make stickers and give those away as well. I think that's great. There was a chat going on back and forth between Toman and Robert about Wreckmaster and the importance of Wreckmaster. Mm-hmm. Gee, are you Wreckmaster? No. You are not Wreckmaster certified. Have you ever considered getting Wreckmaster certified?
Yes, I have. Just the downfall has been every time they're remotely close to me, it's on a weekend that I'm working, and I know I could take the weekend off, but it's just, just one more little thing to say, well, not today, not this time. It's just another excuse that I really shouldn't be making.
It's an excuse to not make an investment into your future. Unless you think...
It's really fun when they tip over the school bus. Like, I went for the tipping over at the school bus.
Like when they upright it or when they push it over?
When they push it over.
We did mine where we were not only uprighting the school bus in the first one. I went to one and then you can go free to other ones. I can't remember why I attended another one. And on ours, we had to upright the school bus. But what we did is we actually took a Cadillac, like this old junker, we had a scrapyard, and we put it where we thought the bus would land. Like we were trying to land the bus without hitting the Cadillac. So it was just a good way to do a kind of a, spatial awareness where it's actually going to land. Not just, this is how you rig it, but real world scenarios where you could be caught in a tight spot. And we took the mirror off. I remember that's how we landed it. We never touched the door, but we took the mirror off when it came down. So no, the guys over at Wreckmaster and the folks over there, that they have online training. We've registered for the online training. They're setting up a new system for that where you can actually have your drivers, you're allowed so many drivers, you register them, and then they can go through and do all different kind of onlines. It's a really important thing with the new, with the cost of insurance and everything, and the cost of putting guys on insurance and investing in guys and then finding out that they're junk, or you can at least
don't like the hours.
Don't like the hours. Yeah. Well, that you're never going to find out until you really push them.
Yeah.
Right. You really put them through a tough time. You're never going to find out how tough they actually are, but you can, give them a basic understanding of things before they get out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people learn hands-on. A lot of some of the best operators I've ever met learn hands-on. But I've also met operators that don't learn hands-on. They learn by, on a computer or seeing things or demonstrations and all that kind of stuff. So, anytime you can get that training, and Wreckmaster provides all of it at a fee, of course, nothing's free nowadays, nothing's free. So the online training is pretty awesome. I like both hands-on and online courses. That's what I'm talking about. For Wreckmaster, there is both. So I think we should start a petition that makes G go for Wreckmaster. If you know what, G is going to tell us, if you haven't been listening, a story when we hit 400 YouTube subscribers. Okay, so we make sure to hit that subscribe, because there is a story on his dad, a trumpet, and a hospital visit, and I've never heard a story about his dad before. I have no idea. I don't even know his name. I don't know your mom's name too, but I've met your mom. She's a sweet lady. I love your mom.
Yeah, she is a wonderful lady.
And we want to learn this story about his dad and this trumpet and this hospital visit, but he won't do it until he gets 400 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
Because he's petty. And he doesn't actually love you fans. Unlike me, I would gladly tell that story if it was mine.
No, it's an okay story. If my dad ever watches it, he'll probably be pretty upset. But yeah.
Okay. So what's the number that we need to get you to actually have you go for Wreckmaster training and invest in your future in the towing industry?
Well, what are we at now?
Oh my God,
331? We need 332 to get me to go to Wreckmaster because I want to go do it anyways.
Okay, so if this live stream gets you one YouTube subscriber, you will go to Wreckmaster within the next 6 months.
I will do my best if they're around.
No, shut up. Do your best. You will do
I'm
it.
not flying to a Wreckmaster course.
No, there'll be one in Ontario. There's one at the tow show normally every year.
I was gonna say they usually do them at the tow show. And by the way, Graham, I'm originally from British Columbia, so I can say that I'm sort of here.
Any other British Columbia tow? Yes. Yep. She is. I'm going to guess. I haven't seen him, and he hasn't commented. But the thumb, I feel like has been creeping around. I've seen him on social media liking the stuff. I'm hoping the thumb. You know who I'm talking about, Sarah. I'm thinking you do. Maybe you don't.
No, I have no idea, but I want to know.
No, Larry, the thumb.
Oh,
No?
yes. Okay.
I feel like he's in here probably watching, and he's out of British Columbia. Had Dan and Jeff as instructors. Best course. I lost it. There it is. Had Dan and Jeff as instructors. Best course I've been to. My boss taught us most of it before. Oh, taught us most of it before. 100%. That's what you see. A lot of times when guys come back from this Wreckmasters, they will teach the other guys in the company, right? Like we pass on our information. I've had you on Facebook for as long as time. I just subbed to you here. Didn't realize I hadn't already. There you go. Gee, there's your subscription. You're going to Wreckmaster.
Going to Wreckmaster. Refresh on the page. 331.
It went up?
No. It was 331 before.
Ziggy.
He says he's trying.
He's trying. Are we going to get to hear Tomanji's dad story? No, David. We just went over it. We can't get Tomanji's dad story until we get 400 subscribers on YouTube, so it will not be today. We're running out of time on the episode, so I really doubt it's going to be today. It is really sad. I live in MO. Which one's MO again? Missouri? Oh, man, I think I've shit on Missouri a lot on this podcast. I am sorry, Bree. Or is that Arkansas?
I think it's Arkansas or Kansas.
It might be Arkansas. I've shit on a bunch of little states that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Not Georgia, because Sarah's from Georgia and I don't want to insult her.
Peach State.
What is okay? I want to ask this to the American towers because we never get a chance to really have the conversation with you guys. What is the worst state to tow in? Like, what would be the worst state to be a tow operator in? And Alaska doesn't count. I don't know if it's a state or not. I think it's a state. Me and my geography are real good.
Pretty sure it's a state.
I think it's a state, but
it's one of the stars on the flag, so I'm pretty sure it's a state.
Missouri, yeah, it's okay. So VA is Virginia. That's great. You were I want to see this one. That's great. I remember the episode that you were talking about the attempts on the island to allow blue lights, but a couple of our companies here attempting a red light or two as well, Sarah.
Oh,
companies
that's great.
For red lights?
Yeah, on Vancouver Island, they're trying to get red lights, rear-facing, flashing red lights, and technically they're not allowed.
Yeah,
but
we have that too.
CBSE has gotten on them about it. It's a big thing. There was supposed to be a breakthrough.
Flashing lights on my truck. Yeah,
they're not allowed to alternate, and they have to flash with the four ways. Is the rule, right? I think in Ontario, that's our rule: is that they can't wig-wag. Yeah. And they have to be rear facing. Of course, they can't be front facing. Mm-hmm. Minnesota uses red. Okay, New York. Always Sam's Towing Recovery says New York. So New York is the worst state. I want to hear your worst state to drive a tow truck in.
I know New York's also got some pretty stingy oversized load laws for like escorts as well. So
really? Like they require escorts real quick? Yeah. New York. Minnesota uses red. Yeah, it was stop fast. Unfortunately, Iowa and South Dakota has blue. Fuck, Ontario can't even get blue. Quebec wants green.
That's stupid.
We did an episode on that, right? Every other province is like, we want blue. And Quebec's like, over la voie, give us the green. God, yes.
Missouri has red and blue. Wow.
That's actually Missouri. Go Missouri. I'm moving to Missouri. Is there a good city in Missouri? Sarah? You're my American liaison.
I don't know anything about Missouri.
You don't know anything?
I think it's flat. I think it's Midwest. Is it not? I'm sorry if Missouri.
I thought Missouri was in the South.
Wait,
I
you're
know a
actually-
lot about the West and a lot about the East, and I don't know much about the middle parts.
I think you speak for most of Americans on that. But you're actually American, right? You're an American citizen now?
Me? No, it's going to take like 5 years. I am a green card holder. Yeah.
Really? Osage Beach. All right, I'm in. St. Louis or Kansas City. Oh yeah, St. Louis and Kansas City, Missouri. I knew this. Kansas City isn't
Kansas City is in Missouri.
No, half of Kansas City is in fucking Kansas, and half of Kansas City is in Missouri. I did know this.
Is that true? That's bizarre.
Yes, go look up Kansas City on a map.
Now I know something about Missouri.
Yeah, and half of Kansas City is in Missouri, half of Kansas City is in Kansas. I remember this one from I think it's because of the Chiefs. It's not flat. Our landscape sucks. New York definitely sucks.
I looked it up. Midwest. I was right on that.
Oh, your baby is already a citizen. That's right. Your baby got citizenship before you did.
Crazy. Yeah.
Your baby's dual citizenship?
Yeah, I have to apply for it. It's complicated, but I have to get him his Canadian citizenship too.
Are you going to bring him up here so we can teach them the ways of the Canada?
I'm actually going to Canada in 4 weeks.
We got to teach them how to build an igloo.
Yep.
Yeah,
before all the ice is gone.
And ride a moose. We have a lot of mud and hills and trees. Makes Winchode super interesting. Fair. From Wisconsin, we got people from all over. You know what? That's what I love about this show is we literally have viewership from all over in different states. I don't know how you all found us, but I thank you for it. It has really helped make this show successful. Yeah. So that being said, we are looking to get closer. When are you coming to Canada, and are you coming to Eastern Canada?
West Coast.
Of course, are you coming to the Tow Show in Ontario?
September? No, but I was just kind of working out. I'm like, how could I get there?
We got invited to the North Carolina Tow Show, and G put a kibosh on it.
We could do a GoFundMe for my plane ticket to the Ontario Tow Show.
That is a good idea because I feel like people would much more support that than paying for us to go there, because they like you a lot more.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. It is coming to that time. We are almost done with the episode. So before we do, we are going to leave with another draw for near the end of our live stream 2.0 Towing Life Podcast 100th episode. It is sponsored by this time the fine folks over at BakPul Hitches. I'm sure you guys can figure this out by now. If you want a chance to win a free BakPul hitch, in the chat down below, hashtag BakPul, BakPul. We will have a chance to win. If you guys have any of you guys heard of the BakPul hitch before? Like, not obviously the three of us, but if you haven't seen the BakPul hitch, it is a very interesting tool, and we have definitely had uses for it that it's gotten me out of a pinch. Sarah, while we wait for people to put up hashtag BakPul, BakPul, I see a very good question, and I want Sarah to answer this. Who's the smarter one?
Oh my goodness,
and we want your honest opinion. Who is the smarter one, PlainGuy or Toman G?
Okay, I'm just gonna have to play it though, because obviously you guys both have strength when it comes to farming. Toman G's my guy. When it comes to insulting Toman G, PlainGuy, you're my guy.
Both of those take a certain level of intelligence. I agree. I agree.
I think your intelligence combined is what really brings the show together.
We'll let the
I'd make an excellent politician, wouldn't I?
No, leave that question up. Why are you getting rid of it, G?
Because we can move on from that.
No. Well, after you're done putting in hashtag BakPul for your chance to win a BakPul hitch, these things retail like $800 Canadian. Hurry up. Get your friends in here if they want a chance to win one. Oh. While we're doing that, you guys can go ahead and also hit hashtag PlainGuy or hashtag Toman G on who's the smarter host of the two. No feelings are going to get hurt. You can't remain anonymous, so I will find you if you vote for Toman G. But no, I think it's a great question. It's a great fun one to have.
We won for Toman G.
One for Toman G.
From your friend Trey.
That sounds about right. Producer Sarah.
Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, why wasn't that an option?
We don't argue that. Like, that isn't the argument here. No one is going to argue on this show that producer Sarah is the smarter of the three of us.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who's the runner-up and the way behind runner-up? Hashtag Tomanji, another one. Oh, I'm going to find you all.
Yeah, I think it's just you come across as more of a douche than I do.
That's fair. That's fair. I've owned it. You are a very sweet man.
Thanks.
Very sweet, soft man.
It's not really a compliment, I don't think, but thanks.
Don't forget, hashtag BakPul, BakPul. Get the last of them in before we draw. We're only drawing one of these. There's only going to be one of them.
Oh, you got your wife in here to vote for you.
I don't. She's over there somewhere in another room. The door's closed, okay?
You know, times are getting tough when you have to call in your wife.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I don't even, the only one I got was from my wife.
That's sweet.
Oh, this really backfired. I'm taking down the question now. Oh, it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
All right. Let's get this draw going.
You want this draw on the go? All right, here we go. Let's get the draw on the go. Who is going to be the winner? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Who is going to be the winner of the BakPul Hitches, sponsored by BakPul? Who doesn't drive the cars in the flatbed is the dumbest. I don't. So
I don't either.
Oh, neither of us win.
No.
Neither. All right. So the winner of the BakPul Hitch, sponsored by our wonderful folks over at BakPul Hitch out of Louisiana, of all states. Nice drum roll. Is Penny Halliday. Is that Tim Halliday's wife? I feel like that's Tim Halliday's wife. Penny
Congratulations.
Halliday, congratulations on your big win of the BakPul Hitch. If it is any relation to Tim, I'm pretty sure he's seen one at the tow show and was quite interested in it. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we can get him one out would be awesome. We will have it shipped out directly to you. We will be in contact after the show, probably by tomorrow, if not on Monday. Give us some time to come down from this awesome live stream that we're having.
Anyone who's won today, feel free to send us a message on Facebook or send us an email.
To contact.
Yeah, exactly. Contact information, phone number, address if you need something sent out to you. The gift cards can be done over the interwebs.
Yep. Yeah, everything will be done that. So if you've won either a Tow Canada magazine or the BakPul Hitch, send us you can message us on Facebook, or if you want, rather send us an email, the towing life at gmail.com, or find us obviously over on Facebook at the Towing Life Podcast. The best co-host of all time was definitely Robin, because she kept PlainGuy in his seat the whole show. She absolutely held me over the stones the whole time. She was the first guest that we had on the podcast that hated towing.
Yeah. It was funny because my girlfriend was in here making shirts while I was editing it. And every time she would say something or you would ask a question and Robin would just like shut you right down. She would look up at me and she's like, she really hates towing. I don't know how they're still together. It's like, I don't know. And that happened like 8 times throughout the whole episode.
Towman G, except for when he's hosting by himself. Yeah, Towman G when he's hosting by himself. I mean, I've put him in that situation multiple times. Yeah, we have done a much better job of it. So, guys, I want to thank every one of you. I want to start by thanking you, Towman G, you, producer Sarah. I'll thank the guys listening and watching after. This was a crazy idea that we started over 100 episodes ago, almost 2 years ago now. This is one of my many random ideas that would pop in my head that I thought, hey, we can turn this into a success. And it isn't without the hard work of both of you that it would have become what it's become now, that we would be doing this. So honestly, from myself, thank you guys. You guys, the listeners are just as important and the viewers are just as important. But without them or without you guys, either way, this isn't a show. So thank you guys very much for the hard work, the pain in the ass that I've been to deal with over all these 2 years. And everything that you guys put into the show, it's truly been unreal.
Thanks for the Covenant POB.
Yeah.
Good job.
You guys deserve it.
Good job.
You guys definitely deserve it. And to each and every one of you guys listening that come in, week out, our numbers on the audio side are starting to like really turn up.
What was it like? the amount of people that watch and listen to this show is like 51 people a day.
Yeah, it averages out to like 51 people a day since the time we've started. We've had like 51 downloads a day on average every day since the show has started, and that number is going up now. That's an average over the entire time.
Mm.
So imagine being put in a place where we could stand in a room and speak in front of 50 people every day.
Every day.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
That's unreal. So we couldn't. The show wouldn't be what it is without you guys. You guys are awesome. You bring us topics. You bring us fun. You're the reason that we keep doing the show over and over again. Our amazing sponsors. Right? Whether the ones that we currently have or ones that we've had in the past, the show would not be possible without all of them. It has truly been a collective group effort of everyone involved. And, you know, on behalf of myself, and I'm sure Tom Angie, I'll let him speak for himself on it. Thank you. We turned a fun idea into a weekly show, into Canada's #1 towing podcast. And I still stand behind that because show me a better Canadian towing podcast. I'd even say we can give those tow business podcast guys a run for their money. We're coming for you, Jeff and Brad.
Yeah,
I
it's been,
pronounce their name right.
it's definitely been a fun ride, and I honestly really do enjoy these live streams because I feel like we can actually interact with you wonderful listeners and viewers. Like it stuff like this actually makes you feel like the towing industry is still a brotherhood, because I know a lot of guys don't even wave at each other going down the road anymore, and that's something that I kind of want to bring back. I want to be able to, you know, have someone stopped on the side of the road and another tower just stop and say, hey, you need a hand, or just stop and help block traffic, as long as you're over the white line, of course, you know. But, you know, just to look out for one another. And I feel like something like this would definitely help. And I hope it's helped you guys and your communities. So, yeah.
Sarah, it's your turn. Now she's gonna say smart things.
No, I'll keep the level down. No, I really enjoyed being part of this. It's amazing how far being in the towing industry has brought me. I started back in 2018 and didn't know anything, and now I still know not much about anything. No, I've really enjoyed all the tow truck operators I've met have just been absolutely outstanding people. I've learned so much about the inner workings of the industry, and just I could go on for hours about how highly I think of the industry. And it's really fun to sit here and talk with you guys and get your perspectives and be able to bounce questions off of you and get all the nitty-gritty info that I'm always curious about. So I love being here, and I hope I can come back.
Perfect.
You're always welcome. Always welcome.
So on behalf of myself, Mr. Tomanji, and the wonderful producer Sarah, thanks for coming out. We can't wait to see you again next week. New episodes every Tuesday. See ya.
Toodles.
Bye.